Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited about this one here tonight on Sportswire. It has been an interesting last few weeks. Let me just say that. And tonight, it's going to get even more interesting because, our guest is a man that he could literally control it all, especially when it comes to amplified and enterprise pro wrestling. Not only is he the greatest amplified wrestling champion of all time, I mean, he's been champion so long, I forgot to count the days. He's going to definitely have that for sure to talk about. But if February 22nd is an indicator of anything else, not only will he have the Enterprise Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship as well, a man that he thought was his brother last week on the show announced, but also he could be the one that's the owner of Enterprise Pro Wrestling. Boy, if you've thought all these executive orders right now are crazy and the firing and the layoffs, and wait until this man, if he gets his way on February 22nd. You just wait until what he's going to do. He's going to talk about that. He's also going to talk about a match that's figuratively and literally 1 year in the making. Johnny Walker, Eric X Black. And this man is a murderer. You can see it already. And he's even talked about Mr. Walker. And Mr. Walker had a few things to say. And we're not going to repeat some of those things last week he said on this show, because obviously there were certain things I'm not going to get into. And in fact, because of Mr. Walker's last appearance, I've even brought out the beat button. So we'll see what happens there. But our guest is going to respond to that. And who knows whatever else, because let's just say, as I stated, buckle your seatbelts. This man has done it all. He's been champion after champion and company after company. He comes from CZW, which was once upon a time the House of Hardcore Dojo, and that's from a little company called ECW. And a few weeks ago, there was some guy on this platform named Rhino, the last proper ECW champion. This man, I've seen him in EBW Pro. I've seen him in GTS. I've seen him in countless other promotions. He's even got his own promotion. I might, if he's in good enough of a mood, ask him about that. And I'll even present our guest something. And maybe I'll even talk about a wedding invitational he's a part of with some guy that I don't even know how he's going to have this wedding. But I'll leave all that aside because it is now time. After all, we are in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio, where we have nearly 1,400 subscribers. Now, I know our guest has done countless podcasts with Wanker after Wanker and Johnny Come Lately, but we do things a little differently on this platform because you're going to be speaking directly to your peers, champs. So I know some of them are here. They're waiting for it. You're going to get it, and I'm waiting for it because I've been waiting all day to do this here on Sportswire Radio, and I'm going to give you that introduction that has made this platform what it is today. And while we're about to talk some rising devastation on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station. So let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. So with without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show. A man that has done it all, figuratively and literally, in the world of professional wrestling. The man that is the reigning, defending, amplified wrestling champion. His name is, simply put, the King.
Yeah.
Cowboy.
Yeah.
is here, my friend. How are we doing?
Oh, I'm great after that introduction. I tip my hat to you, boy.
Well,
Oh.
I might need a lot more than that, but nice to meet you.
Good to
Nice to
meet you
meet you,
too.
champ. Well, it's good to be with you, and I know a lot of people have been waiting for this one, and there's a lot to get into here, and there is no question I could go so many ways, but I'm going to start in current events, as I always do here on this platform, because I'm not like any other podcast you've been to. Tell me your wrestling journey. Tell me who your favorites were in WWE. No, I don't do that here on this platform. We go right to the nitty gritty, and that's why you're the Philadelphia Cowboys. So, Eric X Black, for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters here, Sportswire Radio. Eric X Black, the reigning defending Amplified Wrestling Champion. Tell us what we can expect coming up for a match 1 year in the making, February 22nd, Enterprise Pro Wrestling and Amplified Wrestling's next show, Rising Devastation, what we can expect between you, Johnny Walker, main event for control of it all.
Well, let me make sure before I answer that question, Johnny Walker, because I know you're watching right now. I want you to come a little bit closer, Johnny. I want you to understand this. Fuck you, Johnny Walker. Because what's going to happen is
Oh
this.
my
This is
God!
what's going to happen, right? See,
Yes,
Johnny's
sir.
going to come in there with his gang of Sons of Anarchy, and I'm going to come in there, and then I'm going to do my little thing, and I'm going to put the belt up, and then I'm going to bash him with that chain link fence or that chain wire. And then you're going to hang me in Black History Month? Are you crazy? I can't
That's
wait. I
Neither
can't.
can I. I mean, you really came out. You are a Philadelphia Cowboy for a reason. You are a man that's been wanted for murder in some cases, and you've come out here. Guys like Anthony Steele have nothing on you on this platform. But I mean, what a start! But it's 1 year in the making. I can tell. You've wrestled a lot of different places. You've wrestled a lot of different names, but this match hits home a little bit more, champ, for two reasons. Number one, Kid Mike, who you thought was a brother. Mr. Mike, obviously the owner for now, as some would say, of Enterprise Pro Wrestling, had plenty to say about you last week. But also Johnny Walker, you alluded to it. This is a match that is 1 year in the making, and it has become personal like no other match, maybe in your entire career.
And you know why? Because
Why?
when I was defending my title against James Ellsworth, a guy who I beat again, there's a flyer on the wall over there. I beat him 5 years ago. I beat him again. I keep beating this guy, and he keeps coming back. I don't want him in my company. Now, I'm sitting there doing this, and Johnny Walker comes out of his face to insult my Reina. He sat there and said, "Take your trash with you." Johnny, let me tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to bludgeon the fuck out of you on the 22nd. You hear me, boy?
Well, that hit home those words last week that Mr. Walker said. I'm not going to go down that road and replay those words that he said here via video on Mr. Mike's phone, but that added an extra layer here to this already personal animosity that you and him have had for the past year.
Yeah, because, Johnny Walker, he used to be a good wrestler. I'm going to say it again. He used to be. And he's on
Mm.
Kid Mike's phone because Kid Mike's phone rung, right? Hold on, let me see. Hey, you heard of Johnny Walker? It's nobody. He says he knows you. No one heard it yet, Johnny. But they're going to hear about you on the 22nd because I'm going to cut you up, I'm going to bust you up, and I'm going to choke you out. And then, Kid Mike, sign over those papers. Give me the company. And I'm going to show you.
You're going to show him. All right. Well, you added something that I want to go back to a few minutes back was the biker chain link. You talked about the Sons of Anarchy references and the backup, but it is a biker chain match. And I mean, wouldn't you say that that gives an advantage to Mr. Walker? And why would you say that it is an advantage for you, conversely?
I'm from the streets. I'm from Philadelphia. That don't scare me, not at all. But I'll
Hmm.
tell you this. He
Tell me.
claims he's a biker because he's a fake ass cowboy.
Mm.
That boy got yellow going down his spine. So I took it. Yeah, you're not a cowboy because I'm a cowboy now. I'm going to show you how to do this. So you want to ride your little tricycle to the ring? I hope you do. I hope you bring Dax and Jax and all those other sons of anarchy because I'm going to beat them on top of you, Johnny.
Ooh. Ooh. Well, boy, I tell you what, that's certainly some words there. And let's talk about a couple of things what Kid Mike had to say. And the first thing he announced here on this platform last week, and we're going to have coverage here the next couple of weeks on this platform leading up to the February 22nd show, which is Rising Devastation Enterprise Pro Wrestling and Amplified Wrestling's latest show. And the first of 2025 is now, he has put up now the Enterprise Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship also on the line. I mean, talk to me about what that means into this match and for you to add another World Heavyweight Championship to your collection.
I'm not stupid. You see, they think they think by putting the Enterprise Championship on the line, reactivating it, so Johnny could get a chance to win it. That's why.
Mm.
It's not because, hey, this is the guy who had those great matches with Sicken, and this is the guy that had those great matches with Ace Austin and Ace Christian and all these other guys. No, 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 no. They're sitting there thinking, oh, we're gonna reactivate this title so Johnny can get one more win so he can walk into the sunset. He can defend Enterprise. That ain't happening on my watch. Mm-mm. It's the wrong year. I'm the wrong guy. He's going to walk in there and I'm going to bust him up. And then I'm going to get that Enterprise Championship and I'm going to return it to the prestige that it deserves, just like I did the Amplified title. Speaking of the Amplified title, and
Yes, sir.
I don't mean to take over right now, Reverend. I'm gonna
Go
let
ahead.
you.
No, sir. You're the champion. I don't want to get in the middle of what you're going to do. Take it away, sir. Champ, I'm not even going there. Just say what you want. You're in prime time, and I see to you.
I appreciate you. Unlike how the company's been treating me lately. You see, what I've done is I restored pride back to the Amplified title. The guy who had it before me, one half of the dudes, and I'm talking about you, Ian. He had that belt for a
For 1
collective
month.
of
1 month. He held it for a cup of coffee, practically. Yep.
I had the title like infinitely longer than him. But you know
A
what?
lot longer
That
than him.
that belt right now is sitting there and it's prestigious. People want a piece of it. That's why Johnny's coming out of retirement. But let me tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to raise that Amplified title and the Enterprise Championship up. And then, right, what I should do is get a belt made for the contract for me owning Enterprise. That's what I should be. I should be Eric X Black 3 belts. That's what I should be. But you know
Ooh.
what? I'm going to sit there and I'm going to take this company to the promised land. That's what I'm going to do. And Kid Mike, you got a decision to make because you know what? I'm getting tired of all this. Like, who beat me up? Was it you? You got a decision to make, kid. Do you really want to get on my bad side? I look at you as a brother, but lately, I don't know. You've been you've been doing a lot of things that I don't approve of. Now I don't know who jumped you. Yeah, I seen me at the end of the video. I don't know who jumped you. You keep jumping in other people's business, and that's
He
why
said it
you
was
got
you
hurt.
though last week. He basically said, "Come." He said, "Come on, Tom. It was Eric X Black." I mean, that's what basically he implied. What do you say to that? You are here right now. I mean, tell me your response to that. He
O-
basically implied it was you. That's what he said last week on the show.
On the internet, you're gonna sit there and say it's me, Tom. What do they call that? They call that what?
They call it well, somebody that's a mark. Are they somebody
No, no,
that's
no, no,
something?
no, 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 no. What do they call that on the street? When you sit there and
Oh,
you say,
a snitch. They call that a snitch.
"There
They
you
say,
go."
and you know, there's a line for this. Speaking of the streets, right? You talk about being from Philadelphia. You know, I'm from Brooklyn, which, you know, I would say Brooklyn and Philadelphia, there's a lot of similarities there. There's an expression for that. Thank you for reminding me about that. They say snitches get
Get them
stitches and end up
stitches.
in ditches. That's what they
There
say.
you
That's
go.
that line. So you're a snitch, you end up with a stitch, and you're in a ditch somewhere. And usually, I could actually tell you where some of those are. Unfortunately, or unfortunately, depending on where you are. But nevertheless, so you say though that Kid Mike shouldn't be coming at you that way. Basically, what I get is that he's coming at you for reasons that totally shouldn't be.
What I'm saying is, you don't go on the interweb and you start sitting there saying another man did something to you. You know what you do? You sit there. If you thought it was me, then you would come and you would do something about it. But instead, you run to the internet and you sit there and you make these accusations, Mike. But I'm going to tell you this, because you're my brother, I'm going to give you an opportunity on the 22nd to choose a side. When I win, which I'm going to win, because look at me. Look at Johnny.
Well,
But when I win, you better make a decision, Mike, and you better make a damn good one.
let me ask you a question as I hear you speak about Kid Mike, and I want to talk about Mr. Mike for a second. Has he changed over these past 4 or 5 months? Have you seen a change in a man that used to be, as you described, your brother?
We used to go to war. We had the piece of shop brawl out there in West Virginia. He's had my back through everything. That's why I don't understand why you want to choose to sit there and align yourself with Johnny Walker and the Ian Drakes of the world. And then, you know what surprised me? A
What?
guy who represented Amplified to the T, Hanson. I saw
I
him
was
in the
going to
chat.
ask you about him. I'm confused about Van Hansen, but go ahead, go ahead.
I loved Umbop. I sit there and I look on the chat and he's sitting there talking smack about me. You know, you spell Hanson Hanson, but you know, if you keep it up, you're going to spell it double G, double O, double N, double E.
Well, wait a minute. Well, all right. Mr. Hansen though said he thought he would be safe though. Let's say you win hypothetically though. He was saying he thought he'd be safe with his position. Are you saying that, not to jump down that road? I wasn't going to ask you that, but when you win on the 22nd, so Mr. Hansen's the G O to the N E gone. Is that what you're saying about Mr. Hansen? And you don't trust him either, because Mr. Mike, I mean, he can't seem to figure it out. But you see it clear as day that Hansen's got to go, and you don't trust him from a hole in the wall, and that's automatically one of the things you are doing, no matter what.
What I'm saying is, Hanson, Mike, we're going to have a coming to Jesus meeting on the 22nd. And you
Ooh.
better choose wisely, is what I'm saying. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
whooping Johnny's ass like I've been whooping everybody's ass over here. And what I'm saying is, when I'm the champ of both companies, when I'm the
Right.
man running the ship, you choose a side. You choose Team Walker or Team Black. And that's that.
Well, you know what? I'm going to ask you this question. I want to come back to that in a minute. I know there's a lot of people here in the chat. If you're here right now, do me a favor. Hit a sub button for Amplified Wrestling where you can watch how this is all unfolded here for the past year. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voice figuratively and literally. We're all wrestling matters. And if you're here on Sportswire Radio, we are here with Eric X Black, the reigning defending Amplified Wrestling Champion and the Philadelphia Cowboy. But all right, let me ask you though this question. I don't mean to kind of poke at the bear, not at you, but maybe Mr. Hansen. But Mr. Mike called Van Hansen a failed streamer, a guy that basically he's a failure. I mean, do you agree then that Van Hansen's a failed YouTube streamer and that basically he's got his priorities out of order and that's grounds for removal? Don't you kind of agree with that? Because I'm getting the sense that you think Van Hansen's got to go. You don't trust him, and Kid Mike can't seem to figure out what to do with his one-time former brother. But you see it clear as day, champ, that Van Hansen's this failed streamer and that he's got to go.
First, I don't think he's a failed streamer. He sold millions of albums being the older brother to the other two that had talent. I think Hansen is fucking great. Now, the whole thing with him being a failed streamer and everything like that, I find him entertaining. He's a
I do
good
too.
little.
I like him, but Kid Mike doesn't seem to think he's very successful. That's why I thought that would be grounds for removal. That's all.
Well, I mean, he did remove him. He removed him into a casket that last match they had. Did you see that?
And they didn't seem to talk until Hansen was here on the internet. It's kind of weird, right? I mean, you're brothers with these guys, and it seems like they don't seem to talk to each other until, well, they're on the internet. I mean, not so much about being blood brothers, huh?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I understand where Hansen's coming from with that because he gets jumped and all of a sudden, Eric did it. Eric did it. I saw him at the end. You ever think maybe I'm the victim, huh? You ever think about that, Mike? Maybe I'm the victim. Maybe I'm sitting here doing my petty crimes over here in Philadelphia, and I see myself highlighted at the end of a video. You ever think about that, Mike? Nah, you didn't. You didn't.
I
You ran
haven't
into
thought
the
of
internet.
that. Let me ask you a follow up on that. That's a fascinating point, Champ. Is there nepotism in enterprise and amplified pro wrestling over the past year since you've been the champion? Do you see nepotism here right now in this company, especially of late?
Let me see.
'Cause
Let me
I
see.
know it's a tough accusation, but from what you're telling me and why we're having this match and some of the things you've talked about, the allegations, is it nepotism? I mean, you talked about Johnny Walker, right? Kid Mike wants to give Johnny Walker one more run in the sun, right? He wants to
Yes,
give him one more opportunity for a title that, according to what you would say, and if you've been following Amplified and Enterprise Pro Wrestling over the past year or so, Johnny Walker may not deserve that title shot. So it sounds to me like it would be nepotism, a friend awarding a friend, a biker awarding a biker an opportunity at something that they don't deserve. Would you say that that is grounds for nepotism or what?
absolutely. Because let me tell you something, right? You
All
know
right,
who my, you know who my family is?
tell me.
I have none. So
Well,
I don't get those benefits. I have to work. I have to wrestle people like James Ellsworth and Victor Sweets. And I gotta go sit there and I gotta scratch and claw to get every goddamn thing I get in this company. As a matter of fact, since the inception I've been here, I won the Livewire title my first night in a six-pack challenge. You know
mhm,
why?
why?
Because a guy didn't show up and it was like, "Oh, he's good. He'll go in there. He's a good hand." Nope, I won that belt and put a stranglehold on that bitch. Then I moved up to heavyweight and I won this title. There's only been two people in all the time the Enterprise has been running that beat me. One is the luckiest man in Maryland, and two's my wife. And that's only
Well,
because,
yeah.
and that's because I didn't pull the trigger and bash her fucking brains in. But
Well, she's your wife, so I'll give you a pass on that.
she didn't have a problem doing that to me. So that's my point.
You're here now, though. That's the important part.
I'm sorry.
Well, obviously, I could see then that when it comes to the championship shot, it's not about you, it's about Johnny Walker. But let's come back to control of Enterprise Pro Wrestling. I know we've been dancing around the subject. I will get to the chat shortly here in a few minutes. But what would that mean to you then to take this company over? A company that's been giving you, well, these problems that we've touched upon here over the first 20 or so minutes. And talk to me then about what would that mean to you then to run this company and what are some of the things you would want to do differently, let's just say, compared to the man that used to be your brother and Mr. Kid Mike?
Well, I mean, the first things first. I'm firing Dan Moore. That's the first thing. After that, uh, you know what I mean? Like the company needs to be led straight. I have a vision.
Okay,
I
what
want
is
to.
yours?
My vision is to take this roster and break them down and then sit there and infuse the soul of Philadelphia in each one of them. There's too many guys here worried about their flips, and they're too worried about having the greatest match of the night when what they should be concerned about is going out there and brutalizing the other guy. I want to see Ace Christian kick someone's face in. I want to see him do that little 450 flip thing. Instead of
Yeah.
landing on his stomach to knock the air out of him, land on him with both knees, knock the wind out of him, crush a lung. Put that boy in the hospital. He'll be okay. That's what I want to see out of people. I see potential in them, but I can only do that if I'm at the head, and I can't do that if I don't have the ownership. And I need that enterprise title. I need it more than Johnny does, and I'm going to get it. And when I do, like I said, I'm going to take that roster. I'm going to sit them down. And I'm going to have each one of them sit there and I'm going to lead by example. They're going to be my little soldiers. And I'm going to take this company to the top.
Let me ask you a question while you talk about what you would do with control of the company when you win it on February 22nd. When I'm going to ask you a question, I don't know if you've thought of it, but tell me your thoughts when I ask you this question. Is the future of Enterprise Pro Wrestling at stake on February 22nd. If you don't win and Johnny Walker wins, can Enterprise Pro Wrestling survive?
First things first. I don't see the chat, but Lydia Myers, you're fired.
Well, that's one thing you still have in common with Hanson and Kid Mike. I would say, at the very least, you still have that in common.
You got to go. Here's the thing. If I don't win, that means that everything goes to Johnny, right?
Well, Kid Mike would keep control, but Johnny would have both the titles. He'd have Amplified and the Enterprise Pro Wrestling World titles, right? Both are on the line, so you would lose that. So that's a lot to digest. I know it's almost a winner. It's almost a winner takes all, and it kind of is. That's why I was wondering: is the future of Enterprise at stake? If let's say for whatever reason you don't win somehow.
Well, I'm just saying that was rhetorical because I know that like my belt is on the line too, which means I lose everything, and I can't. I can't lose that amplified championship. That championship is powering me to sit there and build other companies. I need both championships to go through with my plan. I don't want it. I need it. Johnny wants it. I need it. In the same way how I was willing to do anything to win the Livewire title and win the Amplified title, I'm
Yes,
even
sir.
more motivated to win the Enterprise title and ownership of the company.
Well, you know what? I'm very excited about this show. I'm gonna put the poster up here again in a minute. But we're really, really excited about February 22nd. I'm donating not one, but 2 tickets to the show. And since unfortunately I'm here in the Big Apple, but I want to give the opportunity to 2 lucky people to go out there and not only watch the main event, but the entire card itself. And it's an action-packed card. And Amplified and Enterprise Pro Wrestling certainly knows how to put on banger after banger. And the main event is going to be certainly that and some. And we're very excited to have on here Mr. Eric X Black, the Philadelphia Cowboy. He is the reigning defending Amplified Wrestling champion. And come February 22nd, he may have it all. And, that's one thing else I want to talk about is, I've had a lot of segments throughout my career. I said this last week, Eric, and tell me your thoughts. I've been doing this for 6 years. I've had on, again, Rhino and Savio Vega here alone in the last month. I've had Sam Aljami, who had a segment with Mustafa Ali. James Fury just had a segment as an extra in MLW and Impact Wrestling. They're both being mentored by Rhinos. I've had guys like yourself come on here, Skrilla the Great, who just wrestled Lexus King, and Colby Carino beat him. But this match, though, this is why I'm really fired up. I've never in my career seen a match with so much on the line, because it's not just your world title. Now it's another world title, but also control of the company. I think in my career, and again, I'm saying this, I've had, again, countless people just even recently. I've never seen a match like this with this stipulation. I mean, this has to be one of the biggest matches of your career just because of what so much is on the line here. 2 world titles and now control of a company. I've seen a situation like this before.
I need that championship.
Yes, sir.
So I'm the head of this company, of both companies, because that's going to allow me to do things like call out the Funhouse heavyweight champion, Jeff Noyes. So then I can call out the champion of Titan. So I can sit there and I can call out Monster Factory heavyweight champion. For me to be able to do that, I need the championship. I need the ownership to build this roster in the vision of me. So yes, this is a very big match. That's why he can bring every biker in the goddamn world. It ain't gonna change. It's not gonna matter in the end.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're here right now, I'm going to get to the chat in a minute. But if you're here, do me a favor. Hit the sub button for Amplified Wrestling, where you can get notifications on Amplified, Enterprise, Pro Wrestling related content. Also, join the Facebook pages. I'm going to put up Eric Black's information again here. Please support Amplified Enterprise Pro Wrestling. This is Eric's Instagram. Go give him a follow. Trust me, you're going to definitely want to follow this man on his journey. All right, enough about me. I know the chat is here. I want to get to them. And yeah, Mr. Black has definitely got some smoke there, and definitely don't do some voodoo on us here. But speaking of people, all right, this guy. Now, this guy apparently has got a big mouth. I'm sure you've heard of him. You're actually announced on a show that he's a part of. And this guy, Chase Wakefield, and he's been waiting for this one. And you're a part of something here coming up in about 6 or so months from now. It's the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. It looks like he's on track to have the greatest wrestling super show in history. So he says. I'm going to put up your poster here for a minute on it. And what's your thoughts on this? And what's your thoughts on a man that you've certainly seen in the ring, and Mr. Wakefield? And what do we expect from you at this Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitation? I wasn't going to ask you and Raina if you were going to do a wrestling super show, but Mr. Wakefield apparently is doing one, and you're on the card, good sir.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be in that triple threat match, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to maul them, if not worse than Johnny, because it's two of them. But I'm looking forward to it. And Chase Wakefield, I like him. He's a good kid. As a matter of fact, I watch anything that's wrestling because that's what champions do.
Yes, sir.
Chase, oh, pull it back a little bit on your dives, brother. You're overshooting.
Did you see
But
that
other than
spot
that,
the other day on the weekend? He had a spot that I'm surprised he's walking from it. Did you see that spot he did the other day? It was all over social media.
he did the dive and almost landed in the parking lot. I saw it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's the one. And yeah, I guess he'll be walking to his wedding. But you think so? You think it's a good idea then? He has a wrestling super show while he's getting married. I mean, apparently the wife wants it. The soon-to-be wife wants it more than he does.
Yeah, he's going against an indie legend that day too in the main event. So I'm looking forward to it.
Matt DeMorris. Oh my God, Matt DeMorris, the man that the GBYWN and just all that. I mean, history there, and it's a guy that he's idolized. He's idolized him for 10 years. I mean, what pressure, boy? He's got so much pressure on him. This kid, I tell you what. I mean, he's getting married, and hopefully he's announced the vows and practiced them, and then he's got a match with Matt DeMorris. I mean. And you're going to be wrestling too, Dan Stovko and Naeem Brook, the Dream Brooks. I mean, a man I know Dan Stovko. I interviewed Dan Stovko a year ago, so that's an interesting matchup there. But you'll take care of business. You're the Philadelphia Cowboy. I'm not even going to ask you about your opponents, good sir.
I've been watching video of. I mean, Dan was just there. What was it like? 3-4 shows ago. I think he won the live wire
last year. Yeah, he was there. Yep, he was there last year. Yep.
Oh yeah, I see everything. Them boys ain't ready for me.
No, sir, they are not. They are not. But if you do want to follow the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational Instagram page, you can do that here. And Mr. Wakefield has already announced to me he's returning to Sportswire, which I'm sure he'll have a lot more to say, which we look forward to. So thank you, Mr. Wakefield, and we'll see who else has got a comment. Zilla would like to say hello. She's my resident chatter here on the platform. How you doing, Zilla? Nice.
Yo, Zilla, what up?
Yeah, well, it'll be the sky for her. This guy here, Mr. Colton Lee, who's certainly now a heartless sheriff, said this will be interesting. Yeah, pretty much. It's been interesting so far. My very good buddy, Mr. Ed Pizzo of Dually.com. Ed wants wrestling matches to be voted on his page. It is Dually.com. I will put the link up here in a little while. And he says, Mr. Black, let's get ready to duel. I think he's talking about you and Mr. Walker. So that's a good point. That's a good way to segue. A man that has held some gold and amplified wrestling in the past, Mr. Andrew Lovelace, a regular here on the platform. He was waiting for this one, as a lot of people are, and he would like to say hello, gentlemen. Yes, how we doing?
What up?
I want to say hello to my buddy who's here Friday night, Mr. Darkron, who's getting ready to return to the ring. Just surpassed 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's here at 9 o'clock Friday. Very excited about that. And a man, though, it's interesting. He says, what's up, but he didn't say what's up to you. And this guy, Johnny Walker, didn't say what's up to you. I mean, I thought he would have said hello, nice to see you, it's good to see you again, but just said, what's up, Chase? Didn't say, what's up, champ, or what's up, Mr. Black, or what's up, sir? What do you think about that? That's a quote, 4 non-blondes of what's going on, but what's going on here?
He's going to pay for that.
Okay, well, I'm sure there's more comments. So I have a lot of them here, so we'll get to it. Yeah, they're saying hello to each other. And by the way, obviously the missus is here. Make sure you say hello to the missus. The missus is here.
Hey, baby!
You're one of the few that could actually do that across the hall. It reminds me of an episode of, a comedy. I'm great, but thought I'd come in to see what the chump. He couldn't even say has to say. He put jazz to say. And he called you a chump. That's some strong words there, ahead of the biker chain match. Some strong words there. You want to comment or next comment? Next comment.
Next comment.
I've been using that line recently. Yes, thank you, Darkron. My sociopath. There you are. Yep, that's you. Nobody else. It's not Kid Mike or any Johnny Walker. Yep. Hello, hello. Who else we got? Well, I think we've been learning a lot about Eric Blackzilla. Just watch the show, the rest of the show. But Kid Mike, obviously, he's, I guess, not a brother of yours anymore. Not a brother of yours. He said you suck. That's
Oh,
not nice. Said you.
oh,
I thought you guys were brothers still.
oh! I suck, kid, mother.
Okay, next comment. Yeah, he's definitely amazing. He's got his own promotion, by the way. Paper champ, just like Reina. Well, I mean, I don't have Lydia Myers here right now, but
Oh, you son of a bitch!
yes, hello, hello. Who else we got? Yep, the Hall of Fame. By the way, I was wondering, what do you think about Reina, your other half, going into the Hall of Fame on the 22nd at the festivities, I think, which is 4 o'clock. I think the doors are open, the ceremonies at 5 o'clock. What do you think about your wife now becoming a Hall of Famer? What's your thoughts on that?
I'm looking forward to it because it's going to be the most beautiful day and the most brutal day all in the same time. I'm so proud to sit there and see her get her flowers because she's been beating up everybody from the Casey Carli to the Meachins to the Riley Crows to the Lydia Myers to the Nyla Rose. It's about time she gets her flowers. So I'm happy to see her get inducted.
Big names, some big names. I mean, very, very big names. And, I wasn't going to do it, but I think I'm going to do it now because, you talked about Hall of Fame, you talked about different things, but I have something for you, champ, because I know these comments are going to get nasty. I better do it now while I have a minute. But I wanted to recognize you because it's actually Eric X Black Day on all Sportswire radio platforms. I wanted to give you, sir, something because if I don't, you will certainly turn me into the likes of Victor Jones and Ian Drake and James Ellsworth and everybody else you've decimated in the ring. So I certainly don't want to do that. I want to stay on your at least neutral side. I know you are basically you're basically dead. Your heart is dead, but I don't want to be dead. I want to do my next show tomorrow, so I wanted to give you a certificate of appreciation. It's your day here at all of my platforms, and congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Consider yourself saved. You got all your HP. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I appreciate that because I've certainly had some shows where I might actually need that. But speaking of people that have been a frequent guest here, and that I'll give a brief segue into something else, and that is Mr. Ace Christian, a man who's now traveling, and he's certainly going down the road. But he did want to put something here for discussion that I'm going to put onto the chat in a minute. And he wants to be the first world champion of Pro Wrestling Double X, your promotion coming up. And anything you want to say about that as while I am about to put the poster up for that and such, and anything else you might want to address there, sir, and such?
I wish him the best luck. He's going against Steven Person, a guy that's sitting there going down to Mexico, and he's like going all around collecting
Yep.
championships. So he has his work cut out for him. But I wish him the best of luck. He has all the potential in the world to go to the finals and get inside the eliminator and come out on top. I wish him the best of luck. I'm glad I don't have to be in that because that shit's going to be brutal. But best of luck to you, Ace.
And coming up right around the corner here, April 12th. I mean, Murder Mania and Glock Cluster. I mean, it's 6 o'clock. The doors open. Tickets are only $20. If you want to buy a ticket, you can obviously message Mr. Black and check his Instagram page out. Also, the Pro Wrestling Double X Instagram page. And we'd certainly be happy to cover the show and anything I can do to support the show. Very happy to do that here on the platform. So if we would be allowed to, we'll certainly cover it and talk about it. And we have a bunch of matches here. As you mentioned, we have the Pro Wrestling XX Championship, the Pro Wrestling Double X Iron Man Championship. That sounds certainly Iron Man-like in itself. The Eliminator Qualifier matches, the Battle of the Sexes, and a tuxedo match. Since I don't have a tuxedo, I won't be entering that, but we'll definitely be looking forward to talking about it. Yeah, I don't have a tuxedo. It's funny. My mother got married last year, and I showed up pretty much like this. But that's why I'm here in this chair, not married. But it was just a joke for the audience. But we're very excited about the show, and I'm looking forward to it. We've got a bunch of different things ahead for it. So congratulations, and excited for it or what?
Very excited. I'm going to be in that extreme 4-way match with Jason Knight that used to be the
Yep.
the first ever ECW television
I saw
champion.
that. I mean, I saw my friend Jimmy Controversy made a big Facebook post about him today. I knew I was walking right into that. My good friend, a man you know well, Mr. Controversy, who, speaking of controversy, people that certainly say a lot of things, Jimmy Controversy's, that he would make you look tame here tonight.
Yeah, Jimmy, he's a number.
Yeah, Jimmy is an interesting guy. I'm gonna just say that he's been on here like 5 times, and he comes on here and announces himself to come on. But yeah, you're gonna be a part of that, and it's an intense card. It's definitely you got a lot of great matches on it, and I mean, there we go, and there's some of the stuff. And if you want to check it out, I'm gonna plug the Instagram link in a minute before I get to everybody else. Kid Mike's on it. You mentioned Sickened. I mean, we got Crazy Ass Kindred. I mean, it's a heck of a card. It's this is what pro wrestling's about. And you see it here. There's Ace Christian and the Blaze himself, who's going everywhere. I mean, Steven Person, you mentioned that, and just you got this here, and just a lot of something you've been promoting for months, and I'm excited about it. You got big names here. There's I mentioned Sicken. There we go, and just there you are again against. I mean, I just gotta say real quick, it's amazing to me that Jason Knight looks better now than when he was with the Impact players. It's kind of crazy. He looks
Yeah,
like better now than he did like 25 years ago. It just
he's almost 2 times the size that he was back in '99.
I know. It's like I was like, I have to do a double take every time I see him. I'm like, wait a minute, he looks better now. It's like him and Billy Gunn, like they age in reverse. But that's your match. Then we'll talk about it. But we'll put the Instagram link up here in a minute for it. Let me do that now before I get to the chat, because I think we're going to go back to amplified and enterprise talk. I want to do that
Yeah,
here in a minute. So let's do that. I don't want to exchange pageantries any further. So let me put this link up here. There you go. You want to follow Pro Wrestling Double X, go do it. In fact, they're at 98 followers. Somebody in the chat, go hit a follow, and hit somebody else to get a follow, so we can get it to 100 followers. I want Pro Wrestling Double X to have 100 followers on Instagram by the end of this show. So there we
yeah.
go.
If you could, it's good wrestling. Go down, go like it on your page. Go wake your man up. Go sit there and like it on his phone. Go get the kids, download it
Yeah,
on
do
their
it.
little Androids, and download it on there
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Go. My chat will do it. I'm sure they know the drill. Thank you, my buddy Mr. Ox McCoy, who's in Iowa, who's going to be meeting Ace Christian in 2.5 weeks for his company, because Ace Christian's going there to wrestle. Good
Oh,
evening,
good
friends,
stuff.
and Mr. Mad Dog Dan Moore, who I hear from a birdie may be coming on here before the 22nd, but in the meantime says you're going down, Mr. Black. Some strong words there. Strong words from Mr. Mad Dog Dan Moore.
I sure am. I'll see you in a little bit, baby.
Well, in that note, there we'll move. Next question. Next question. Hello to Ace. Andrew has some. Yeah. I think he means this. We have a new toy here on Sportswire where I go like this.
Oh,
Yeah, we had this guy come on here who Ox McCoy works with, and like every word he kept going F F F, and I just kept going like this. That's okay. You haven't been as bad. So, and you're Eric X Black, so I'm gonna let it pass for tonight. But yeah, we're doing good for now. How's it going? I'm just a girl who's gonna watch Eric X Black win what he deserves, which is everything here. Let's get to some more comments. Avoiding doing work at work. Well, that's why you're here on Sportswire. I'm doing the work
welcome.
for you. Yeah, good. Mr. Mike is obviously being discriminatory about your height, which I know that that's not accurate. That's not accurate. So just next question. Next question. Eric Black, yes, he wears a mask, and that's why he's going to annihilate Mr. Walker, I suppose.
Absolutely.
We've talked about some of the beef. Kid Mike is a crybaby. You would probably agree with the missus on that. And
Cry me a river, Mike.
got an old man fighting his battles. All right. So Mr. Christian would like to say, all right, we have a problem now. You just mistaken me for Ace Austin. Got to run it back just for that, perhaps with the title on the line. Well, I'm going to say something that's going to be off the wall. I think Ace, and his daddy's done a lot. His daddy's a hell of a wrestler, but I think Ace might exceed his daddy one day in his wrestling career. He's got the ability.
He's got the potential.
Got the potential. In Potter's Field, we were talking about the snitches, with stitches get ditches. And yeah, I actually, it's funny, real quick. You'll probably appreciate this. I know I have somebody on my father's side of the family, and who's dead actually, that is actually in Potter's Field. No, it's a long time ago. It's a funny joke, but I'm pretty sure I have family in Potter's Field, because I remember once we were talking, and I was a kid, and we were talking about, like, I got into not a lot of trouble, but I would have my moments, and he would talk about, well, Tom, I had family members. They didn't have furniture and televisions, and they wound up being dead, and they were in Potter's Field because they didn't act a certain way. And I was like, okay, I got the point. I'll go and be better. Okay.
Avoid Pottersfield.
Yeah, well, it's also an Anthrax song, by the way, but we'll not go there. When I come back, me, you, and Eric, I'm going to dog. We're not going there. The dog walking, it's Black History Month in February. It is Black History Month here, and I am certainly honoring Black History Month. Follow.
You're canceled, Mike. That's it. You're canceled.
Hit the sub button for Amplified, though. We have brownies. Yeah, I know what that means. Mr. Loveless is Team Walker. Maybe that's why he's not on the card on February 22nd.
Let me just address that too.
Yes, sir.
Raina, you're fired too. Good.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll keep going. My buddy Nathaniel Rage from Appalachia, West Virginia, would like to say hello to everybody. There you go. Love Nathaniel. How we doing? He was framed. We're talking about you and what happened with Mr. Mike and those allegations.
Exactly.
Yeah. Follow Eric on Instagram. Mr. Wakefield is obviously trying to match you with a cowboy mentality. He says he is waiting for a match with you. Is Mr. Wakefield ready for that? I mean, Mac DeMorris might demoralize him, don't you think? Get it, DeMorris?
Listen, if he gets past Matt, and I have faith in you, Chase, if he gets past him, you can choose one of the championships to go after, the Amplified or the Enterprise. How about that?
Ooh. Maybe you'll be bringing them then to the wedding. Then you'll be bringing them to the wedding.
Oh yeah, I got 2 opponents. I can hit each one with each belt. Yeah.
See, let's run it back, husband dearest. Okay. Dan Moore says, "What did I do?"
You were born.
Next one. Johnny's knee can't handle 2 belts. Okay, I got the joke there. My friends in North Dakota, by the way, in Bismarck, North Dakota, legendary backyard wrestling. What's up? We're doing great. How we doing? Hit the sub button for Amplified. All right, who else we got here? We got a lot more comments. I need to check my vision. Lydia Myers is not here. I don't know why Zilla's saying hi to Lydia Myers, but we're not going there with Lydia Myers.
Zilla, she's fired already. She was the second person.
Love you, Zilla. Okay. But this person here, I think you mentioned a little while ago, a little late, but wouldn't miss this episode. Maybe Mr. Walker is bringing some friends here. I think my odds of staying in EPW is very good since I'm on PW double X. Is that true? Or you could change the card, though. I thought card was always subject to change.
Oh, no.
I was always told card subject to change. Don't you agree?
Oh, no. You see, here's the thing, right? I love violence. I love it. So I'm not changing anything based on personal beef. I'm doing what's best for business. Mike's going to enter the Enterprise Scramble match for a shot at the championship, no matter what. But what I'm saying is, if you choose to be Team Walker, double G, double O, double N, double E.
Well, he's got 18 days. 18 days to change his mind.
18 days, boy.
Yeah, Jimmy Controversy's an interesting individual, a friend, you may want to say. He's a friend, but he's an interesting individual. It's funny. He'll always tell me what I should be doing. I'm like, yes, sir. And then we'll just go on. Yes, thank you. He's a character. I like him, but he's a character. Some things I do see him say on Facebook, I'm like, okay, that post I'm not liking, but I'll read it though. Okay, yeah, we're gonna move on here. Enough about Matt DeMoy. Oh, by the way, congratulations, 100 followers. So I'm gonna put it up here on Instagram again. You hit 100. So I want, again, if you're here, people are coming in and out on Instagram, and they'll watch the replay. I know how this works. You know the drill. Go out there, follow it on Instagram. I know Mr. Black's got 2,000 something followers. Follow him as well. And there we go. Just followed. But what do you think about this? Mr. Loveless is maybe too big for his britches, don't you think? Here, he fears Andrew Loveless. That's kind of big for his britches. What do you say to that?
Well, what I say to that is, Andrew right now is doing tag team work, so Andrew can't fight me in the singles. I'll beat your ass, Andrew.
Well, he's tag teaming with the guy that's Hammer Time. Maybe come out to the baggy pants and, you can't touch this. But, 1991 called,
But that's the thing, though. I do singles. I don't do tag teams, so
that's true.
That's not going to happen there, Andrew.
Well, we love Max. We love Max and Andrew, but different promotion. But yeah, they're doing good. They're doing good things. But we'll move on to that.
But real quick. I'll tell you what, though, Andrew. In all seriousness, right? You
Hmm.
put on your big boy pants. You put on your little sparkling glasses, right? You come on down to Enterprise Amplify because I'm be the one running it. You come on down. You come get you some, boy.
Well, you know what? Maybe he will. He's been an amplified in the past. He's had gold, but Mr. Mike would like to say we were the two most violent men in Enterprise Pro Wrestling and Amplified Wrestling.
You're right. It's Eric X Black and it's Eric X Black.
Next comment. Next comment. Next comment. All right, so let's go to here. Yeah, thanks. Zilla respects and appreciates you. Good, 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 good.
Thank you, Zilla.
Follow the Instagram. There we go. Who else we got? Ed is subbed on YouTube. Team
Oh
Black.
man.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, well, let me give Ed a little plug. Ed's always been here for me. He's got a new website. He's trying to change the game in the world of wrestling and voting. It's Dooley.com. He's trying to be the Simon Cowell of wrestling, if you might want to say. He's got some. He's finally updated the page. We got some votes on it. We got wrestling. We got racing. He'll vote on it. We'll have a duel. It'll be fun. Dooley.com. I'll put the link up. You can visit it. Tell me what you think. He's worked on the page a little bit. I speak with him all the time. And there you go. Okay. Who else we got here in the chat? What did I do for you to fire me? What have I done to you? Sounds like a Janet Jackson song. What have you done for me lately? Is that what it is
I
almost? What is
read
it?
the chat, Dan. I seen what you said.
Okay, well, it's time to duel. Well, that's on Dooley's website. You keep hollering up those steps. I'm coming down there. And okay, well, who else we got here? No one wants to see you, Raina. I know you definitely disagree with that. All right, we're good here. Okay, you know what? We're good. Obviously, I've spoke a lot with you, and I want to ask you one quick question before I go back into the final remaining minutes of the show. What are your goals for 2025? What are your goals? Whether it's controlling Amplified and Enterprise world titles and Enterprise itself. Any goals you have here?
My goal is domination. I
Yeah.
want to sit there. I dominate Amplified. I'm the man there. Now, next goal is to dominate Enterprise. And then after that, Pro Wrestling XX. And then after that, there's a nice little company in Ohio called USWA. And yeah,
Oh,
I'm
I
supposed
saw. Yeah, last month there was a show there. I saw that he was
no,
supposed
no, 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 no. The snowstorm messed it up,
canceled
so
it.
it's
Yeah,
coming up.
they
Yeah.
canceled it.
So
Yep.
so I get a shot at their champion. So you know what?
You were
When
supposed
I
to have that
do,
title shot there. In fact, you were supposed to have been on the show of somebody I know very well, Mr. Day Jameson, somebody that I interviewed, and Mr. Jameson I didn't make the show either because well, it was a snow day. Let's just say they'll have a do over, and you'll take that championship gold, and that's all you do is win championships. I don't even have to ask you about championships, and that's all you do is win championships. You've held gold so long. You've been years. I mean, Roman Reigns has nothing on you. So in some way, I mean, that's what you'll do here, especially with Enterprise and Amplified. I mean, might as well just take the Enterprise Pro Wrestling World Title and control Enterprise to boot.
yeah, you know how Ric Flair sat there and he was the territory champion. He went all over, sat in the third. That's who I am. I'm the Ric
Mm,
Flair. When I win on the 22nd, don't call
mm-hmm.
me Eric X Black no more. Call me God.
Well, maybe in this case, I might have to just do this. Okay, well, you know what? I've spoke a lot with you, and I was wondering. I know Mr. Walker's out there, and I know that obviously he's been listening to this, and you've certainly been, talking about different things. But if you had some, I don't know, parting words or final words for him, maybe even any advice for Mr. Walker before February 22nd, what would you want to say to him? Let's just say if he's still out there. I mean, if he is, I don't know.
I tell him to go try Jesus. Don't try me.
Mm. Would you say then that maybe, I don't know, that Mr. Walker should maybe find something else to do? Maybe he shouldn't show up. Maybe he should just stay for the Hall of Fame ceremony when he gets inducted alongside Rayner, and then maybe just, buy a ticket like everybody else and watch the show and forfeit. Do you think that would be a better idea for Mr. Walker, just to, stay for the Hall of Fame ceremony, get inducted? We appreciate him for his past life, but on February 22nd for the main show, he should find something else to do. Was that what maybe
Hmm.
you would advise him to do, or you just want to kill him? Because after all, you've been wanted for murder in the past, sir.
Well, here's the thing, though, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Uh, I'm gonna call you Tom because we're friends. So here's the
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
Tom. You inspired me. You just inspired me. As a matter of fact,
Oh
as a
God, help
matter
me.
of fact,
Yes,
this
sir.
is because of you, Reverend.
Mhm.
When I win and I have complete control of Enterprise and Amplified, Johnny, I'm not gonna fire you. Mm-mm.
You're not? What do you mean?
No, no, no. Johnny,
No.
when I beat you, I'm gonna change your contract from commissioner to my servant. You're gonna
Ooh.
walk me to the ring. You're gonna hold my championships. Raina, you're beautiful and I love you. You can come out there too. But I want Johnny to hold my belts. You're gonna be my boy, Johnny.
So,
Officially on contract. You're my Virgil, Johnny.
whoa! So basically, he's no longer Commissioner Walker. He's more manservant Walker. He's going to be your official manservant. He's going to be the one that's bringing out those belts, holding the ropes for you when you come out to the ring. Make sure everything's tidy for you out there when you go in there, and he's going to just have to be your manservant. I mean, this is basically the job for Johnny Walker, and that's what he'll be for as long as you decide when you win on the 22nd at Rising Devastation, and you'll control Enterprise Pro Wrestling. And that's rather nice of you. Maybe you don't have a black heart after all. Maybe you're not this
Oh,
Scrooge, this black-hearted man that people say, or that has no heart, because you're not only keeping Mr. Walker, you're giving him an important job, some would say, in being the manservant of
he'll be.
Enterprise and Amplified Pro Wrestling.
That's right. Look at that picture right there. Look at that beautiful face. No, no, no. I'm not gonna fire him. When the little kid is bouncing the basketball and I kick it, Johnny's gonna be standing there in a little tight ass sleeveless vest, and he's gonna be sitting there just like, that's
Mmm.
Johnny. Manservant Johnny. There you go.
Manservant.
No Walker. Man. Thank you, Tom. Manservant Johnny. I
The
like it.
manservant Johnny. So really, he's got a job. At least he keeps his job no matter what. And it's important because in this day and age, people are worried about, getting thrown out of this country and worried about losing their jobs, losing their union benefits. But at least you have the maybe some good in your heart after all by you're giving Johnny Walker his job and giving him an important title. So I mean, who's to say really again that if everybody chooses the right side that they'll keep their jobs and maybe get a promotion?
Exactly. Also, I just want to say on record, fuck you, Mike. You want to sit there and say that I'm 5 feet tall? You know damn well I'm not 5 feet. Fuck you, Mike. But yeah, I got a heart of gold, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to keep manservant Johnny around. Dan's still fired though. He's gone. He's gone. He's done. But yeah,
You don't like
I'm going
Dan
to sit.
Moore, though. You seem to like Dan Moore less than Johnny Walker, then it seems. You like Dan Moore a lot less than Johnny Walker because you're allowing Mr. Walker to keep his job. But Mr. Moore, he's out the door right away. It's just that's almost executive order number one. In fact, that's not even going to wait for February 23rd. That's going to be right after you defeat Mr. Walker. Dan Moore's fired. He's GO to the NE gone.
That's because he's China. You gotta go, Dan. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not.
Oh,
It's
oh my
not me.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh
China,
my.
China, China. That's right. He's gone.
What about Mr. Hansen? You want to keep him, or what do you think about Mr. Hansen? You talked about firing before, but is he gone? Or I mean, Mr. Hansen, obviously, he's had his problems with Lydia Myers. I mean, that would, to me, sound like grounds for removal for Mr. Hansen. You could take over, and if you get rid of Mr. Hansen, that means you'd be able to technically possibly control Amplified as well, because if you remove him by executive order, well, that means he's out of a job, and Amplified could go to you. You could have two companies just with the spur of a firing, supposedly or possibly. Who knows?
You know what? Because I'm gonna shoot with you right now. The
Yes, sir.
reason why I got that title shot is because they love Victor Sweets. They love the cake boss. They wanted to sit there and they wanted him to win the title. But the thing of it was is they thought Eric couldn't do it. He can't beat him. He's a true
Mm.
heavyweight. And what I do, I dumped him on his fucking head. That's what I did. And I became the champion. So Hanson didn't do me any favors. Enterprise Amplified didn't do me no favors. They didn't expect me to pull it out. But I did. And I'm going to do the same thing in 18 nights when I take Johnny. bust him up, make him my manservant, win the ownership of the company, reinstate the Enterprise Championship, defend the Amplified Champion, and become God.
Maybe you're the greatest of all time, and that's just what it is. I mean, there's nobody could stop you, nobody could touch you. I mean, there's just really, nothing anybody can do. I mean, we should all just maybe bow down to you and just acknowledge you. I mean, the quote yesterday's show with the tribal chief, we acknowledged him, and we should just acknowledge you. Eric X Black already is the owner of Enterprise Pro Wrestling, and just give you the title now. Maybe we should just do that to save us all the trouble, save us all the hassles. That's what it seems to me.
Right now, what we need to do is we need to go get the production team to go work on my entrance package and make it 8 minutes long like Roman Reigns. That's what we need to do. We need to have
Mm.
my entrance play for 4 minutes. I come out there, do something because I'm so goddamn great. Maybe raise my hat and they acknowledge me for 8 minutes. That's what we're gonna do. Mike, get on it before I fire you.
Ooh, well, I'll tell you what. And before I do anything else here, we have some other matches. You can see some of them here. Victor Jones, the aforementioned Victor Jones, is with Jacob Cassidy. Sickened, we spoke about. YKIES, a man that was here not too long ago, Mr. Anton Nathans, also in action. And we see the poster here for the main, but there is going to be some other matches. We're going to talk about all of that here. And, obviously, if you had any more word from Mr. Walker, do you have one more piece of advice for him? One more piece of advice?
I do.
Yeah, what's your last piece of advice for him before we let you go and go focus on February 22nd and just doing what you do, sir? Anything else you want to say?
First of all, it's been a pleasure, Reverend. Tom, you're a goddamn. First of all, before I say my thing to Johnny, let me talk directly to you.
Yes, sir.
You're a gem. I sat here and I watched a lot of your podcasts, and you give everybody the platform to shine. And I'm glad Enterprise gave you your flowers before, but now the champ is giving you your flowers.
Yes, sir.
I love your podcast. Now, back to Johnny. Johnny, I want you over the next 18 days, make sure you buckle your seatbelt. Make sure when you're sitting there eating steak and beer, whatever you fake biker cowboys do, make sure you use a knife, cut the meat up real tiny so you don't choke. Make sure you make it in one piece the 22nd, because on the 22nd, that ass belongs to me, boy. No Diddy. And I cannot wait to beat you up.
Well, I did hear Diddy had knee surgery or something the other day, but we're not going to go there. But, I was going to let you go. I was going to give you some closing thoughts, but apparently I've received word that there's some kind of surprise here, and it's apparently directed towards you. I don't even know what this is. I mean, I know out of respect to you, I could certainly tell this surprise, maybe to find something else to do. But apparently I've received word that there's somebody here that wants to talk to you directly. I don't know what it is. It could be good. Maybe it's to congratulate you. Maybe it's first order of business is to say, I'm team Black and forget about Walker and Mike and all those. And that maybe it's time to acknowledge and bow down to you. I don't know what this is. Would you want me, though, to bring on this surprise for you? I could say to them no and go find somewhere else to do, but it also could be somebody here that just wants to directly say thank you for all you've done for Amplified. They can't wait for you to take over an Enterprise. What do you think about it? You're the champ. You're the soon-to-be owner of Enterprise Pro Wrestling.
I say bring it on. I love surprises.
You sure?
We
don't know what this. All right, we're gonna do this here now. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, we hope that this is somebody here that would like to congratulate Mr. Black and thank him on Eric Black Day, and we're gonna do it. And wait a minute, nah, it's Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker's here. No, I'm shocked. I thought this was maybe Raina Black, the missus, was gonna be here to say, maybe we gotta go out to dinner still, maybe catch a Tuesday matinee movie. But Johnny Walker is here. Johnny Walker, the legendary Johnny Walker, wants his say. Mr. Walker, I'm not even saying anything. I'm shocked. I'm floored, and take it away, sir. Oh my God, he's got the biker chain. He's got the biker chain.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. What you gonna do with that, Johnny?
Shut up.
No.
Huh? Oh yeah. Make me shut up, Johnny.
Listen to me, boy. This ain't Black History Month. This ain't Eric Black History Month.
God.
This is Johnny Walker Month. and biker chain. You can see I'm no damn cowboy. Just
You're
because
not.
I wear a cowboy hat, I'm not a cowboy. You look in my face, boy. This is the last face you're going to see when you take your last breath. When I wrap this chain around your scrawny neck.
You bring it, Johnny, but it ain't going
You
to be enough.
listen, I've been doing this since you were crapping in your pants. And I'm not talking about last week when you realized that you had to face Johnny Walker in a biker chain match.
Let me tell you something, Johnny. A lot of men tougher than you tried, and they couldn't do it. Matt Tremont, Drew Blood, the list goes on. None of them can touch me, and you can't touch me. And you're going to find out firsthand on the 22nd.
None of them are Johnny Walker. You said I'm an old man, that I'm washed up, been doing this too long, it's time for me to hang it up. Let me remind you of something. Us old men, remember what we used to do. We still know how to do what we used to do. And Eric, this is Johnny Walker, and this is to you and the end of your career.
Oh, he just had a zip of Johnny Walker live on Sportswire, and Eric Brock's career is going to go up in smoke if Johnny Walker has his way in the main event February 22nd, Enterprise Pro Wrestling, Amplified Wrestling's Rising Devastation. Yes, Mr. Walker.
One more thing, Reign of Black. If you choose to bring her to the ring with you, Eric, when you bring a pet to the ring, we require you to keep it on a leash. If you don't, I guarantee you, my brothers will put her on a leash.
Oh my God, Mr. Walker,
Well,
Mr. Walker, we this is, I mean, this was certainly the definition of rising devastation. This is 1 year in the making. This match is 1 year in the making, ladies and gentlemen, and it's more than personal. Now it could be a fight to the death. I don't even know what more to say at this
This all
point.
started because he didn't want to get his trash out of the ring. Raina's in there stinking up the place, her and her Philadelphia cheesesteak.
Oh,
What would you to get your trash and get out of the ring, and you wanted to run your mouth?
Johnny, you bring all the village people with you. It ain't going to help you. Those knees are shot. That back is shot. That neck is shot. And when you get in that ring, you know, Johnny, I was just going to beat you. Now I'm going to cripple you. So you tell Miss Walker why you can't satisfy her at night on the 22nd. Because I'm going to put you down, boy.
oh my goodness! Listen, ladies and gentlemen, obviously this was not what we anticipated. Yes, Mr. Walker. Yes, Mr. Walker. Yes, sir.
Got another little surprise for you. We're here at the clubhouse,
Yeah.
and
Well, wait a minute. Is that Mad Dog Dan Moore? That's Mad Dog Dan Moore, I think. Oh my goodness, he's here.
there. The brotherhood will be there in full force. I promise you. So any kind of bullshit that you want to pull, that you think you're gonna pull, and try to win like you won all your other crap matches and cheat, have Reina help you. These guys got my back.
Oh my God. Oh,
I'm going to leave you with something there, Johnny, to think about. Who says I'm coming alone?
Oh! Listen, this is turning into this might be devastation right now.
You're gonna bring your little minions that you had jump Mike in the funhouse? Remember, I was the one that showed up and broke that thing up. And all of you included, Eric, tucked your tail between your legs and you ran.
I didn't say I was bringing them, Johnny.
I don't care who you bring. I've been in this business for 33 years. I've fought them all, from Bubba Ray Dudley to Rowdy Roddy Piper. I've been in the ring with some of the best in the world. You think that look at you. Like Mike said, you what, 5 foot? I took shit bigger than you.
Here's the thing, Johnny. Those guys aren't me. It's the wrong day. You're gonna be there on the wrong day in the ring with the wrong guy. And you're gonna find out firsthand what everyone else did. Everybody else in Philadelphia, in New Jersey, in Delaware. You're about to find out firsthand what's about to happen to you on the 22nd. You're not gonna walk out of there, Johnny.
Where's my hat?
Oh my God, Mr. Walker is he's
You know what?
he's had it. He's had it.
You're right, brother. And come February 22nd, you will
Oh my, yeah, Mr. Walker.
find out.
We thank you for your time, Mr. Walker. We'll see you soon. And he's left, Mr. Black. We're gonna close this show here. But I'm stunned. I'm perplexed. This was not what we anticipated. I'm stunned, Mr. Black. I'm gonna give you the floor. Anything else you want to say? I mean, we just this is certainly the only thing left to do is to watch the show, buy a ticket, and see this match. We've already seen the devastation, and we haven't even got to the ring yet on February 22nd. I mean, listen, Mr. Black, you've got the floor, and take it away. And just this was certainly unanticipated, to say the least.
I'm going to say this in closing. To the locker room, you got 18 days. 18 days to sit there and pick a side, and you better choose wisely. Because, Johnny, you're not going to walk out. You might have faced a lot of great guys in your time, but none of them were me. None of them was Eric Black. And you're going to find out firsthand why I am the amplified heavyweight champion.
Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you want to follow Mr. Black, you better do that, because especially the mood he's in right now, you better go give him a follow. Give Pro Wrestling Double X a follow. And while you're at it, you better buy some merchandise, because he's got a Pro Wrestling Tees page. And especially the mood that Mr. Black is in, we're going to put that link up right now, because we don't certainly want that rising devastation here, because he can certainly see, you can feel it like a knife, and you want to go to his page, go just do it. Get a shirt, and just keep this man happy. And obviously, just do that. That's his page. Buy that merchandise. Just whatever you do, do it. And Mr. Black, we certainly, obviously apologize for that. We had no idea. We certainly look forward to this match on February 22nd, and I'm sure you'll be tuning in. Maybe you won't be tuning in when Mr. Moore comes here. And I'm not even going to bring up Lydia Myers. I'm not even going to
She's fired.
do that right now. Yeah, I'm not even going there with Lydia Myers. But it is Mr. Black Day. We'll give this to you when we're off the air. And we thank you very much for your time. And we know that on February 22nd, you'll have some different ideas, unlike Mr. Walker with that biker chain he had wrapped around his hands here this evening, sir.
You know, he's worried about my height when he needs to be worried about how he's going to get home that night once I break both his kneecaps again.
Well, hopefully he has AARP. But, ladies and gentlemen, this was the Philadelphia Cowboy. He is the Amplified Wrestling Champion, Eric X Black, and he is going to be in action here on February the 22nd, 18 days from now, at Enterprise Pro Wrestling, Amplified Pro Wrestling's latest show, Rising Devastation. You've seen it here, and there's not much more to say, but rather than go to the Amplified Wrestling YouTube page, the Facebook pages of Enterprise and Amplified Wrestling, go buy a ticket, support it. I'm donating 2 tickets, and if I didn't, I might be the one fired from this platform. Mr. Black will take it over, so we certainly don't want that. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportzwire Radio, give us a follow, like this interview, share it, support Eric X Black, support Amplified Enterprise Pro Wrestling, buy merchandise, hit a follow, and we'll see everybody here tomorrow with Sean Jovi, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you soon.